Here are resources for the Young Hoosier Book Award nominee, The Panda Problem by Deborah Underwood. Let's start out by looking at those from the Indiana Library Federation. They include a book summary, which is, Panda finds himself within the storyline of a book. The narrator becomes quite frustrated with Panda when he simply does not have a problem, which all stories need. What follows is humorous banter between Panda and the narrator as Panda himself becomes the problem. They've included a resource guide that has that book summary, a book talk, challenging words, author, illustrator bios, and discussion questions, as well as an activity sheet. And the activity sheet includes story elements. So it asks the students to choose a favorite book that they've listened to or read and identify the story elements of that book. Draw or write the elements of your story below. And it talks about characters, the book title and author, setting, the plot, and then there's this problem and solution, which brings me to my STEM connection for this book. And that is using the idea of novel engineering. So if you've never been to the Novel Engineering website, you can just go to novelengineering.org. And basically, this is an integrated approach to teaching engineering and literacy. It's inspired by kids and grounded in research, and this is an innovative approach to integrate engineering and literacy in elementary and middle school. So students use existing classroom literature as the basis for engineering design challenges that help them identify problems, design realistic solutions, and engage in the engineering design process while reinforcing their literacy skills. So there's a video you can watch about why you should do novel engineering, but the highlights are it works with the ELA curriculum, enhances reading comprehension, engages all learners, provides integration of different disciplines, introduces realistic engineering problems, builds 21st century skills, and meets Common Core and next generation science standards. Hey, you can get an idea of what novel engineering looks like. Basically, a student reads a book and identifies problems. Through discussion and attentive reading, students collect the problems that the characters face. So this goes right along with that Young Hoosier book, The Panda Problem, because it talks about how stories have problems. So then the students scope the problems and brainstorm solutions. They consider the needs of the story's character or the client and the context or constraints imposed by the text as they brainstorm possible solutions. Finally, the students design a solution. By working in teams, they plan and build a functional prototype that addresses the character's needs and constraints. They give you some ideas about how to get started, but they also have some examples. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom and click on books, they have these novel engineering examples that go along with books. So if you click on classroom books, you can find all of these great popular titles that teachers most likely have in their classroom already. So you can use one of these or really any story that has a problem in it. I'm going to show you the example from Muncha Muncha Muncha. So it talks about the plot and then gives some example problems identified by students from the story, and then solutions designed by students. And notice the grade. This is kindergarten through second grade. So this is definitely an activity that can be done with the students in the lower grade. When I've implemented novel engineering in the past, I actually used this Muncha 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 as an example for the students. So we read the story and then we talked about different problems, and I actually showed them the solutions designed by students just so they could get an idea about what that might look like. And then we did the novel engineering activity with our own selected book. So this is a great STEM connection to go along with that Panda Problem Young Hoosier book.